right, everybody, welcome back. Little surprise video here for you guys. We've been talking a lot about these fish of the month, and we want to get these things set up in their own aquarium. And as you can see, I'm taking a brand new 29-gallon tank here, and we are going to put it together with a few supplies that we have around the shop. And then we are going to get it cycled and get our fish of the month into that tank. So stay tuned. Let's go see what we can find. Alrighty, so right off the rip, as far as substrate goes, this is what I'm thinking, you guys. I think I'm going to go with, because we want it to be a little on the thicker side, because we want to grow some plants in there. I think I'm going to do a mixture of our 25-pound black sand and a mixture of our Eco Planet Aquarium substrate. And this is a red, a really, really pretty red. So I think mixing those two together in there is going to look really, really, really good. We are going to take some of this stuff out of here that we don't need in there. This is the stuff we had laying around because we were going to sell this as a setup. So I was putting it together. So we are able to now take this stuff out of here, and we'll go put it back to where we found it. Because it does not need, well, maybe if I can get it out of here, it does not need to be in there. Let's go take our sponge filters back and our air pump. This is an AP100, probably our most popular, or our A100. And then we've got some bigger sponge filters. I don't think we're going to run a sponge filter on that tank. You guys, we have all the substrates you can think of out here, and we're adding more and more planted substrates as we go. Your fluval stratum, stuff like that will be out here. We want, let's see, we are going to add some root tabs to this tank too. So let's go get these out here. Add those. I am going to go with a Aquarium LED OptiBright. I think this will work perfect for the little bit of plants that we are going to add, and to give our fish some nice color. And then we are going to go pick some plants. I'm thinking, you guys, oh, we should probably do driftwood in there too. I think driftwood would be cool. What do you guys think? Should we do some driftwood in there? So let's pick out some plants together. Some Ludwigia would be good in there. That's a nice hardy plant. We can do that in the background, or we can add some of the red flame swords to the background. That'll be a fun. I'm low on plants. We have lots of assorted swords and stuff down here, some different types of crypts. Ooh, I take that back. We could do some driftwood in there. Maybe throw in a couple pieces of driftwood. We have some large driftwood with ferns, some small driftwood with ferns. We also have some driftwood anubias in here as well. So that could be fun, throwing those in there. So let's do this. I think we're going to take some of our, get these out of your way so you can see. We had a floater in there. That's never good. We're going to take, let's see, ooh, hair grass. That could be a fun one for the back, but we are going to be catching a lot of fish in that tank, so I don't want anything in there that's going to be easily broken. So I think swords will be a good option. So maybe we'll throw in a couple of the red flame swords, and maybe we'll add in a few man, I need some more plants, you guys. I'm low on plants. Maybe we'll add in, man, my plants look like crap. We'll add in some, well, Ludwigia, Hygrophilia, red flame swords, some micro swords, and maybe a creeping rust, and we'll throw in a maybe one of these smaller driftwood ferns in the front. We'll see. And then maybe we can get some, well, I don't have any driftwood left either. Everyone's bought it all. I need to go through this stuff more often. Ooh, maybe we can add some pretty rocks in there. All right, I have an idea. Maybe we don't throw a shit ton of plants in there. Oops, sorry. Had to edit that out, you guys. Maybe we don't throw a ton of plants in there. We'll get some plants in there, but then we'll do some really pretty rock. Have some really, really pretty rock we can put in there too. Well, let me get to thinking. Let me get some stuff set up on this counter and we'll go through it together. Alrighty, you guys, we're going to go ahead and start putting some substrate in this tank really quick so I can get that laid out. And then we're going to grab some of our decor, our rocks and stuff, and get that added in there. I already put some black substrate in there. Got that going on the bottom here. We're going to try to cap it. So what you guys can see is what I did here is I don't have my scaping tools with me, so this is going to be fun. But I kind of made a nice little mound in the middle all the way around, and we're going to get the rest of that substrate going through there. But before I go too far, you guys, we're going to go ahead and rip open some of our root tabs here so we can help some of these plants really root, give them the best chance of some strong roots, the ones that we are going to put in there. And you guys, we're going to instantly cycle this tank too. And just to let you guys know what I'm doing, I'm just cutting this open. At least trying to. These are proven to be Dave proof at this point. There we go. We got all 10 of them open. So I'm just going to break these up, you guys, and we're just going to kind of push them in the bottom of the tank down here in a few different spots to really promote some strong root growth here. I highly recommend this with young tanks. If you haven't already cycled aquarium, it's been around for a little bit. More than likely, you probably have enough nutrients in your tank. But since we're starting with a brand new tank, and before I cap it with our planted substrate, I'm going to get our root tabs set out through there throughout the tank. And then we are going to cap it with, like I said, our eco-planted aquarium substrate here. This is a do not wash, do not rinse aquarium substrate, but for plants. And it's going to be nasty. This tank's going to look like doo-doo for a little bit, but it'll clear up pretty quick for us. I'm trying to be as careful as I can here so we're not disturbing too much of the sand. Because we want the sand to be underneath all of this. And over time, it's going to mix up anyways because the rock is heavier than the sand. So I'm making sure I get every last little bit of that out of there. And like I said, we're just going to mix that around, give us a nice base of substrate here. So you guys can see I got a nice about 2 inches, 2.5 inches of substrate. So that's pretty good for planting. Now to go get our rocks and decor. All right, everybody. I have my rocks picked out. I have my plants picked out. Right now we are going to do the red Ludwigia, some micro sword. We have our Anubias on a rock. We have a fern on driftwood. We have some creeping rush. And then to top it off, some hygrophilia. We picked some lace rock to put in here and a few other things. So we are going to go ahead and set this down, and we're going to work together here really quick on scaping this tank for our fish of the month, which this month it is our Ember Tetras. So right off the rip, you guys, I found this really cool piece of rock in our pile out there, and I'm really surprised that no one claimed this thing out of there. This thing is really cool. So we're gonna put this probably more towards the center of the tank, about like so. Move some of this rock around, make it look pretty cool in there. That's going to give a spot behind there too for all of the fish and things like that to hide in there. So that looks pretty cool. I'm really digging that. This other rock we got, I picked up a couple pieces. Off camera, I was messing with this a little bit too, you guys. So I already kind of have an idea, and when we're done, you guys can kind of rate. You can rate my scaping abilities if you would like. Put that bad boy there. Take this bad boy. Put him there. And I had this one kind of sitting up here, like so. I thought that looked pretty good. And I'll show you why I chose to do it that way. Some of these plants, you guys, we're going to be working on. I'm not going to take them out of their pots. Actually, yes, I am. I lied to you. Thank you, Mom. I really appreciate it.
I know. Absolutely.
So I'm working on right now, you guys, just lightly trying to get these plants and roots out of these cups. I don't want to rip up my roots as much as possible. So this is a creeping rush. And then I also have some micro swords. So what I'm thinking is like a micro sword there, a micro sword down here on each side, and then doing the creeping rush like just offset right there, or maybe over a little bit more, like that. Yeah, I think that's going to look good. So let me go ahead and get this guy opened up. This is something that you guys that I really want to get into some more of, is really getting into the plants and aquascaping and stuff. I'll be honest with you, being a cichlid guy my whole life, up until, you know, we started opening our shop, I really wasn't the greatest. I really don't have the greatest aquascaping. Well, I was hoping that I had, I know I left them out on purpose. I wanted them to unfall a little bit so I can flatten them and put them back in here. So they'll sit flat. See you later, Mom. Love you. All right. Sorry, guys. Had to answer a question out there really quick. I know I should probably have some sort of tweezers or something to do this with, so give me a second here. Let me see if what I have laying around that'll help. I know I have some planted plant tweezers around here somewhere. Let me look through what we have hiding. These will probably work. So I'm not using my big old fat fingers. So our creeping rush, I'm going to try and get just down in there like so. Okay. I love it. I love it, you guys. I think it's going to look really freaking cool. One thing I am going to do, though, is I am going to keep, it's going to be tacky, but I am going to keep our things down there. So you guys, when you come in, know what plants we have. All right, so let me get this micro swords. These are going to be fun. And get these micro swords opened here. Hopefully we don't lose them all. Oh, these just opened right up. Super, super simple. Super, super. Same thing. We're going to grab them. Wedge them down in there a decent amount. Make sure they're good to go. Okay. My light's not big enough for this tank. I thought you guys, when I was reading the box, that it was going to be big enough. It is not. We're going to run it and see how it works. And then hopefully it works. And if not, we'll just grab another one. We'll order us another one. I think these are going to be cool on each side of that right there. I got some really cool terrarium builds in the making too, you guys. Some waterfalls and things like that. So I have next some hygrophilia, and I was gonna do two, but I think I'm just gonna do one back in that corner, just one. So the other one we're gonna go put back, and then on the left side over there, I'm gonna run Ludwigia. I'm gonna put two of those in there. This is one of the reasons I'm afraid that my light might not be good enough. This is an easy to grow light or plant. This is a mid-ground plant, so it does well in like the medium, mid to background. We don't want any super tall plants in here, so these are going to be our background plants. And I am going to get one. And then the other one. You guys should see the mess I'm making up here, opening all these up. Good thing I got something down protecting my counter, eh? 1 and 2. See how those stand up. Now let's get this hygrophilia. Lots of roots on this one. I may have to get creative with getting this out of here. We'll see. Hope it pulled out real nice. For those of you wondering, most of these potted plants like this, they grow these plants in these pots. They're not real hard to take out. More so, you just got to they just pull right apart pretty easily. And then all your root structure and everything's right in there. So not too bad. Um, clean these up. These are a pretty stiff-rooted stemmed plant. So we are going to do these individually back here. I'll try not to get in your guys' way too much here, but I might block the view a little bit. Trying to get these in here the way that I want them. Unhook there, buddy. There we go. 1, 2, got 5 of these bad boys to push down in there if I can. Okay, 1, 2, 3. That one's in there. 4. I'll try to get these to go right along. I'm going to move a couple of these rocks. I know where they go. Just so I can get these down in there a little bit easier. And then I'll put that rock back in there. Okay. These rocks back up here. Make sure they sit where they need to sit. There we go. I'm liking it so far. Let's get our hygrophilia marker in there so people know. Guys, rate my scaping skills so far on a scale of 1 to 10. We hygrophilia. I already put the hydro in there. So I need one for the Ludwigia. Where you at? Ludwigia, hygrophilia. Oh, I stuck it up here. That's why I can't find it. Micro swords. Put the one for our micro swords right there. You guys, normally I wouldn't have this stuff in here, but I want everyone to know what these plants are. And then our Ludwigia kitchen. There we go. Which now leaves my last 2 pieces, which is some Anubias on a rock. I don't know where I kind of want this at or not. I don't want it to be like overwhelming and taking up a ton of space from everything else. So we've got to figure this out. I do know that this one I wanted to have right here in the front, like splitting the creeping rush and that. And then this I thought would look good up here, but I'm not sure yet. We're just going to stack it, try to get it up there. For now, I'm not a fan of that right there at all. I might not even put it in there, you guys. We might just not have this in there at all. We might just move this fern over there. We might just leave it just like that for the time being. Let me know what you guys think. So we can add some more rocks to the top. I do think that this is going to be a little too much for the top of that. So for the time being, we're just gonna go over here and chill with these angels. I think I'm okay with the way it looks right now for a good start. All right, I'm gonna stop there for a second, you guys, and I'm going to get everything else plugged in and Give you guys a good look at this. Let you guys look at it from the top. So far, that is what we've got. Give me 2 seconds to clean up my mess, and we'll get this thing filled up and cycled. Alrighty, you guys, we are going to run a time lapse here in a second of me filling this tank. But first and foremost, I want to let you see what we are doing. We use a product called Safe. This is a dechlorinator where a 1/4 teaspoon will do like 9,655 gallons of water. Just kidding, it does, I believe, 300. So we are going to do a decent amount of our Safe in here. We are going to cycle this tank pretty quick. I do have cycled media in here, as well as we are going to be running a cycled sponge filter from an aquarium in here, from another established aquarium as well. So let's watch this tank fill up.
Know your name, don't know this feeling deep inside my chest. I'm going insane, but I go anywhere, it's your request. It's a blood rush, heart pump, red riptide.
Alrighty, you guys, we are now filled. We are going to get our filter in here running. We are using a Tidal 35. There we go. We're going to be spitting a bunch of goo out in there because this is a cycled filter that it's already been on another tank. And I should have known it was going to do that, and I should have been ready to catch most of it. But you know me. Anyways. There we go. That's going to get out some of that debris in there for us. All right, and then this light is not going to be as strong as I thought it was going to be on this tank. So that's going to be disappointing a little bit, but this will clear up. And I am going to, like I said, I'm going to get me a temporary sponge filter down inside this thing to help cycle it a little bit faster, and we'll get the glass wiped off. So we'll go on to another time lapse here, and you guys can watch this thing clear right up. Okay, everybody, I was recording the time lapse as this thing was clearing up, and I did not realize that my phone was dead, and it's on about 6%. I just speed charged it really quick so I can show you guys where we're at, and that these guys are all in the tank. They are not colored up yet. I literally just dropped them off in here. As you can see, we still have water bubbles and water bubbles. We still have air bubbles everywhere. But all of our Ember Tetras are in here, and I cannot wait to see what these guys look like tomorrow once everything is settled. So stick around, and we'll give you guys an update on the old social medias. But this is our fish of the month for November, the Ember Tetra, or Tetra Ember. Stay fishy, guys. Thanks for watching. Sorry, you guys. Like I said, the phone died on me last night, so I could not get the best time lapse to show you guys this thing clear up. But you can see we have fish in it. I had the fish in it last night. It was instantly cycled by adding a cycled sponge filter and a cycled hang on the back filter. The sponge filter will be coming out. You can see these are the Ember Tetras.